Jose Rizal, as far as we know, was a generous friend. He gave gifts to many people. He donated Philippine artifacts to German museums. He gave copies of his novel to friends. He was that kind of guy. For the women in his life, his love language has always been poetry. We know that he wrote a poem for Consuelo Ortiga y Rey. He also wrote a poem for Josephine Bracken while they were in Dapitan. But what about Leonor Rivera, his first and regretfully forbidden love? Some say she was his greatest love. Jose Rizal and Leonor Rivera maintained a long, secret correspondence using code names to hide their relationship from Leonor's disapproving mother. Leonor was referred to as Aking Taimis, or my sweet, in Rizal's letters. Before he left for Europe in 1882, Jose Rizal wrote her a short melancholy poem, Paalam kay Leonor. Rizal arrived in Madrid in late June 1882 to begin his studies in medicine, philosophy, and letters at the Universidad Central de Madrid. But his thoughts always returned to Leonor, and he continued to write letters despite the distance. In 1888, Leonor stopped writing for a year because her mother had been intercepting his letters. In 1890, just before Leonor's marriage to Englishman Charles Henry Kipping, one of Rizal's letters was accidentally delivered to her, revealing that he had been faithful all along. Despite learning the truth, Leonor did not break her engagement to Kipping. Family lore tells us that she sewed the ashes of Rizal's letters into the hem of her wedding gown as a final act of defiance. But not all artifacts from their love affair went up in smoke that day in Dagupan. Before the heartbreak, love was definitely in the air. In 1884, Rizal sent Leonor a gift. It was a book of poetry given to subscribers of the illustrated magazine La Ilustración Ibérica. It was an elegant gift book typical of the late 19th century Spain. The book was titled Album Poético, Colección de Composiciones Inéditas de los Más Notables Escritores de España. In English, Poetry Album, Collection of Unpublished Compositions by Spain's Most Notable Writers. The book perhaps mirrored Rizal's poetry preferences and sought to have his sweetheart share in the perceived cultural sophistication of Spain. On the title page of the book, above an image of two lovebirds, Rizal wrote A Leonor Rivera Recuerdo, or To Leonor Rivera, a Remembrance. He did not sign his name. Forbidden love nga kasi. But experts compared this with Rizal's handwriting in letters to Blumentritt and confirmed the consistency. This book also made it to page 49 of the definitive book on Jose Rizal, Lolo Jose, written by journalist Asuncion Lopez Bantug from the perspective of the Rizal family descendants. Bantug was the granddaughter of Rizal's elder sister, Narcisa. This book also holds one of the last remaining samples of Leonor Rivera's handwriting. She wrote Es Propiedad de Leonor Rivera, or Property of Leonor Rivera, on one of its front pages. Alam mo yung feeling when you open an old book and suddenly the past becomes personal? Ganun yung vibe netong libro ni Leonor. It's an old book pero may kurot sa puso ang history niya. It carries the tragic story of two people who lived more than a century ago but could express their love only through poems, a curation of soulful words they wish they could say to each other. If you want to see this artifact of Jose and Leonor's forbidden love, visit the Leon Gallery between November 29 and December 5. The Kingly Treasures auction happens on Saturday, December 6, 2025 at 2 p.m. These poems remind us that history is not just about events. It is every feeling that outlived those who carried them in their hearts. Ang lakas ng tama kapag mga could have been. O diba?
Meow meow.